everybody. I'm Willie Griffin, growing up in East Winston. I'm here to just talk a little bit about my experience of growing up as a child in East Winston.
Hello, my name is William A. Griffin. I want to talk about my experience of growing up in 14th Street School. I started school in 1950. And I went on, after I left school, I went to Acton High School, which was next door. I started playing sport at 14 in the 6th grade. And that carried on all the way to high school. I was coached by a man named Henry Jones. And he believed in winning championships, and that's what we did. I think that during his career at 14th Street School, I bet he won about 10 or 12 championships. And then he left school, he left there for the integration. Broke up. I think he went to Kennedy. He left Kennedy and went to Atkins.
He did, yeah.
Was Atkins?
Yeah,
went
Kennedy
to
Atkins.
You know, and by the way, when I got to high school, I was fortunate to live with him and his mother for 3 years.
Wow.
My sophomore, junior, senior year, high school, I stayed with Coach Henry Jones.
Okay. But fortunately, living in East Winston, I went to Scouting School. Played basketball there about up to about 5th grade, and I transferred to Brown Elementary School. And I left Brown in 62, went to John F. Kennedy High School, which is 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. And I took Lake to Acton High School and played basketball there from 10th, 11th, and 12th. And I had the experience of playing basketball, but growing up in Winston, I met a lot of great role models. Teachers, for example, I had one in Miss Head, which was my 3rd grade teacher at Scouting School. Taught me a lot of things about being personal, about being the best you can be. Then I went on to talk to a few of my junior high school teachers, like Mr. Jones, who taught me math in high school in 7th grade, was my 7th grade coach. Then I went to Willis Johnson, taught me basketball in the 8th grade. Then I went to Coach Hollingsworth, taught me basketball in the 9th grade. So I had some really good teachers that was role models as I was growing up in Kennedy and East Winston. Then I went to Acton High School and met a guy named George Green, my sophomore coach. George Green was a very personal, tough guy to deal with. But he wanted you to be tough. He gave a lot of tough love. And from that point, we learned how to be tough and to be tough at the same time. So during my basketball career, I got out of Acton High School, I was able to get a basketball scholarship to Wake Forest University. And I was, didn't know at the time, but I was the first African-American from Winston-Salem to get a basketball scholarship at Wake Forest. And after that adventure, got married and have a beautiful wife. Been married about 45 years. Have 2 girls, aged 36 and 41. And to my knowledge, they've been successful. But growing up again in East Winston, I had a great time to deal with a lot of role models. It's like a community. We all love each other. We have much, but we share what we have.
Well, when I finished 14th Street School, I went to Acton High School. I was fortunate enough to play 3 sports there. I played football, basketball, and I ran track. My first year in football, we had what's called a tragedy. One of our football players died on the field. His name was James Purcell. And we cried because we didn't know what was going on at that time being. But that next year, we carried on to play football. My coach was named C.J. Washington and Warner Odom. Then after football, for 3 or 4 years, I learned how to play 3 positions. I was the end on offense, I was a linebacker on defense, I was the kicker.
Kicker too?
I was kicker. I kicked off. So Acton had a good reputation of winning ball games, but they never won a state championship. But my senior year, we won Acton first state championship. I was co-captain of the team. I led the team in tackling. I led the team in pass receiving. And I made all state. That was my senior year in high school, in school year 1953-54. In basketball, I was fortunate enough to be on the starting 5 as a freshman.
Wow. That's tough, man.
We went to the state final that year, but we lost in the semifinal. Our sophomore year, we won Acton first state championship.
Okay.
in fact, the football championship we won was also Acton first football championship.
Okay. All right.
Then we won the championship my sophomore year, which was when they built the new gym over there. That first year, we won the championship in that gym.
Well, you guys kept winning.
In that gym. My junior year, we won the championship again in the Rocky Mountain.
Football or basketball?
Basketball.
Okay.
And we won the championship by beating our arch rival Carver of Winston-Salem. And then my senior year, we won the championship back in Acton again by beating Laurinburg. So that was 3 straight championships. Also, what was called nowadays, we call it three-peated. We the first team in Winston-Salem to three-peat.
A three-peat. So 3 times.
3 times.
Okay. All right.
Now, we're the only team in Winston-Salem today that won 3 straight championships in basketball and a football championship the same school year. No other team have done that.
History, that's it.
So, 11. So when I went on to school, I got very officer, but I took a scholarship to Tennessee State. I didn't play but 1 year. In fact, 1954 was my year.
Yeah, you told me that the other day.
I finished high school in 1954. I went to college in 1954. I got married in 1954.
That was a year then.
I also was drafted in the Army in 1954.
Oh, that's a year then, boy.
That was my school. The 54 was my year.
That's a lucky number, man. That's a lucky number. 1954.
1954. When I got married in 54, I married my high school sweetheart.
Okay.
And we was married for 58 years.
58. It's a long time.
From the 58 years, we had 2 sons. Okay. And both of my sons are still living today. My oldest son today is 66 years old.
Bless him.
And my youngest son is 63 years old.
Wow.
So I live a good life.
You know, for me, I'm the baby of the family. You know, we had a brother who played in the 40s,
in the 40s,
50s, and the 60s. And I'm the baby grip, they call it, you know. And I don't know too much about a big brother because I was like about 4 years old. I heard a lot about him. And I got up and the guy was telling me about Griff. You know, called him Head, by big nickname. They called him Head. And I began to understand the tradition that we had to do. So I went on tradition and played sports. I got high school and went to college, but he set the groundwork for me to go in. My big brother named Buddy, then my brother named Head, myself. But the groundwork was all set. The DNA was already been set for me to have the type of life I have. And by looking at my big brother coming up, who was working at Audrey Reynolds, I saw how he conducted himself, and I want to be something like him. I saw how he got married, had his family together, working hard. It gave me the same desire to do the same thing when I get married, to be like my big brother. So I looked up to him, being my big brother, and because I saw what he was doing with his own life, you know, and I thought it was really good. And it's part of me learning. They say it took a village to raise people, you know, and we had a village around us that people gave us some support to be all we can be, but we had role models at the same time.
So I also worked in Audrey Reynolds after I got out of the service. I worked there for 30 years. My wife, she started working there, and she worked there for 26 years. But the good part about that, we both was able to retire at age 52. And I haven't worked since.
Now, one thing I do want to say something too about my work career. That I taught school. I only worked for. I taught school at Southpark High School. I taught special education, and we had a basketball team there. The guys supposed to be special ed and need some help. Well, I took the guys, man, and we won 88 games in 22 years. I mean, 80 games in 5 years there, and went to championship in 1983 against Waller Rose Hill. We lost championship by 3 points. But the point to make is that we had guys that people didn't give up on, so to speak. You know, we played against Forsyth Country Day, Miss McGinnis. We beat them 3 times each year. And they had a tournament called Knights of Columbus tournament, Christmas time. We won a tournament 3 straight years in a row. The 4th year, they invited us no more. You know, we beat them 3 straight times. And they said, Southpark can't come no more. You know, so that's something that I remember about going to teaching at Suffolk High School was that guys that we had now are still grown. A lot of them have been successful because everybody gave up on them. And I saw some in India and we're together, and they now, some went with runners, some went to school, some actually finished college. That people gave up on them, you know, because they're special ed, you know. But I see somebody, and they work hard. And I remember a guy named Ed Byers who went to South Park, played football. I went to some state up on Coach Hayes. Ed Byers went over there and was a running back over there. He came to South Park High School. So we had some, so I figured that growing up in Winston, we had role models, and I tried to do the same thing for somebody else. Because someone role modeled me, let me do the same thing for somebody else. Say it loud. I am East Winston. Very proud of it.